Hello, welcome back to another FPL video. I hope everyone is doing well. We're very much on the brink of the double game week 25. I think it's going to be a massive game week for a lot of people. Now, if you're thinking of wildcarding potentially, or you've already hit that button, there's a lot of kind of new information that has come out in the wake of kind of the FA Cup fixtures being played. There's a few injuries that we're going to discuss as well. But yeah, I'm just doing a kind of revised wildcard draft because a lot of new information has come out. If you're new around here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out, and for the daily FPL content. As always, hit that like button if you do enjoy the video, and well, let's go straight on into this one. So first things first, I've got the FPL website open here. We're going to be doing a lot of tinkering, a lot of discussion regarding different players, and we'll be trying to keep this team between kind of 102, 103 million, because I think that is a kind of fair valuation of what everybody has. So right, let's get straight on into this team, starting off with a goalkeeper, and I think Nick Pope, now he's confirmed that he will be playing, or at least, the injury has been wiped away. He's now no longer got the 75%, basically confirmed that he will be playing at the weekend against Crystal Palace, and against Fulham looks like a fantastic option. Some people even considering the captaincy armband on him, so I think it's a very, very good option. Now with the second goalkeeper, it's kind of up to you to decide what kind of your plans are, whether you're thinking of bench boosting a certain week, or you just want to look long term. I think we're going to look a little bit long term, and also really kind of go for the double game at 25, and we're going to go for Meslier. He's got a good double game at 25 against Wolves and Southampton, can pick up plenty of save points, and could potentially get some clean sheets, has the potential to get a very big haul come game week 25, and you're also kind of planning ahead to the game week 29 where he has a confirmed fixture against Fulham. I think it is a good idea to kind of look ahead to that fixture and sort of give yourself players now like the Leeds boys who have a good double game week coming up and also have a confirmed very good game week 29. So I think it's good to get those boys in and hold on to them kind of around till then. Then looking at the defenders, and I think there are two defenders or a certain team, that we need to get two defenders in there straight away, and that is Manchester City. Now, obviously Diaz right now, he's got some kind of illness. I personally do think he will actually play this weekend, just because I think they're really going to try and get him back for the Spurs game. I'm going to put him in there, but if you're like a little bit risk averse, then I think you could definitely go for Stones. I think the second one to go for is Cancelo, and I really do like the kind of double up on them. One thing to mention though is that if Diaz does miss the first game against Spurs, he will most definitely be back for the Everton game, so you'll be missing one game there. The likelihood with Stones is, he'll probably play both of these next 2 weeks, but over the coming game weeks, he will probably be benched. Whereas Diaz has basically shown that he's unbenchable. So, even if he does miss the Spurs game, then he's not going to miss any more games, whereas Stones could miss, one or two maybe of the future fixtures. So I think Diaz is still the better pick. Then for the next pick, for the next 3 picks, you're basically looking at kind of picking that extra defender who is going to be alongside the two City boys, because I think the plan for kind of the wildcard draft I'm building is to play a 3-5-2 for the most of the game weeks, and maybe play a 4-5-1 or a 4-4-2, depending if your kind of defensive players have better fixtures. But for the most part, I think the 3-5-2 is the way to go at the minute. And so the next defender is very much going to be another player targeting this double game week 20. And actually, Burnley do have a good game week 25, and that is Matty Lowton for Burnley at 4.5 million off his really good value to attack the next couple of game weeks. And also we'll probably have a double game week 26, probably not the best game week, but a very playable player, because Burnley can easily go and keep a clean sheet in any game they play. Now, as I said, the next two players very much make your own. I think that the Aston Villa boys are going to be very, very good. They've almost got an all but confirmed game for the blank game at 29. There's a lot of kind of speculation. I've seen Ben Cronin on Twitter say that, it's very likely that Spurs versus Aston Villa, now that Southampton have beaten Wolves in the FA Cup, will be moved to game at 29. Not only will Aston Villa most likely have a game at 29, they'll also most likely have a good double game at 26, potentially with, Sheffield United and Leeds, which sounds like an incredible double game week, especially from an attacking perspective, which we will come on to. But I think for the next defender spot, we're going to go with Matty Target for Aston Villa, because as I say, got good double game weeks coming up and the potential of a blank game at 29. Now, with the last spot, I'm very much looking at a kind of, filler player, a player that's just going to kind of sub in if any of your other players don't play, because most of the time we're probably going to be playing Diaz, Cancelo, and then either one of Lowton or Target. So the final player we're going to go for is a team that have been keeping like a lot of clean sheets of late, and have just been absolutely smashing it defensively, and that is Ben White for Brighton. They also have a confirmed game at 29, so I think it is kind of good to look ahead and give yourself as much of a kind of chance in that game week as you possibly can. With a kind of good strategy, you can kind of set yourself up to at least have 6 or 7 players coming out of the kind of Game Week 26 that could play in Game Week 29 and use the kind of 2 or 3 transfers up until Game Week 29 to then give yourself at least kind of 10 or 11 playing players. And I think it's a good idea to kind of have that last defender spot as a player who could, just fills in and has a Game Week 29. Then we're going to be moving straight on into the midfielder. And there are 3 players that I think, they really have to go in there. One of them is potentially debatably so, but I think Bruno Fernandes straight in there with the West Brom fixture coming up. I really don't think you can be missing out on him. Then I think Sonny Boy is a very, very good player. With the double game weeks they've got coming up, it's a very good idea to have a Spurs player, as I said, against Aston Villa. They've also got the potential of having a game week 29 in the blank. So, the fact that they could have a double game week in 26 and also have a blank gaming fixture is a very good idea to have some Spurs assets. And then the final player we're going to go for is Mo Salah. Now, the degree to which you kind of think he is essential is completely up to you. You could potentially go for Sterling if you're looking for a bit more of a kind of aggressive play for the coming game week, because he's more likely to have more double game weeks than Salah is. However, Salah's got some decent little fixtures coming up, so if I owned him, I wouldn't necessarily be transferring out, although it is something that I've been kind of playing with. And then I do want to quickly give a shout out to another player who I really think I tried to get him into this team, but couldn't quite fit it in with the kind of budget that I wanted to build, and that is Jack Grealish. I think he's going to be an unbelievable asset going forward. As I mentioned with Target, the Aston Villa asset is going to be really, really good going forward. I think if you can afford Jack Grealish, then he's definitely one to go for. But the fourth midfielder, and we're going to be triple up on Manchester City, is Ilkay Gundogan. Looks unbelievable over the past 10 game weeks. He's managed to net 9 goals and 1 assist. Genuinely, absolutely smashing it. On incredible form of late. At 6 million provides unbelievable value, and it is very much a kind of captaincy choice as well for the double game at 24. So I think Gundogan is an unbelievable option as well. Also to mention, I think De Bruyne is coming back from injury soon, so it could be a potential transfer from Salah to De Bruyne, but obviously you would have to kind of leave one of the Manchester City defenders out if you wanted to go with a double Man City midfield. And then the final player we're going to be bringing into the midfield is very much to target the double game week 25, and that is the Leeds boy Rafinha. He's been on unbelievable form of late. Good form, very, very good form. Harrison definitely deserves a mention as well. Got more points than Rafinha. I think Rafinha has been playing a little bit better over the past game weeks, but Harrison has definitely been netting the goals and is definitely not one to kind of overlook. But I think Rafinha is the more popular choice out of the two at the minute, so we're going to put him in there. And also, it's just an incredibly good enabler at 5.3 million. He's going to be playing in sort of week in, week out, and with the double game week they've got against Wolves and Southampton, it looks very, very tidy game week to kind of target. Now, taking a look at the 3 attacking spots and what you're going to do. Obviously, it's very much dependent on what your plans are. So, with the majority of this team, this is kind of not a team to potentially bench boost in the coming game weeks. I think you would need to make a couple of changes, like the Ben White move. I think the rest of them, they could have a decent bench boost come game week 26. Maybe Rafinha, you'd have to look at changing out for the double game week 26. But, for now, I think we're looking at just a good general team leading us through from game week 24 up until about game week 29 and onwards. And, with that being said, we're going to put the main man, Harry Kane, in there. I don't think Harry Kane can be slept on. He came back in the West Brom game and looked unbelievably sharp. I think Kane is just going to be a must-own, especially with the likelihood of a double game week 26, as I mentioned, and then a blank or an actual fixture in the blank game week 29. I think Kane is going to be an unreal asset. And actually, we're picking the top 2 highest scoring attackers. I'm going with Kane and Patrick Bamford. Now, Bamford's in there just to completely target the double game week 25. He looks unreal and is genuinely even a captaincy option for that game week. And then to finish us off, we're going to have the kind of filler player, Ryan Brewster, coming in at 4.4 million. Did get a little price drop the other day. I mean, that could benefit you if you didn't own him, or if you owned him, it will hinder you, but there's no need to potentially get rid of him if you do own him. It's just kind of that filler attacking player. Now, this is what the team looks like in terms of an overall perspective. The value for this team comes in at 103.2 million. Now, obviously, if you don't have that amount of money, there are a couple of ways which you can kind of chop it and change it to make it a little bit cheaper. So you could take Diaz or Cancelo down to Stones. That will give you like an extra 0.8 million. You could drop Meslier down to like a non-playing goalkeeper, or even Pope down to like a McCarthy, or even someone like an Areola who's got a good double game week this week. And same with Meslier, you're trying to target that double game week 25, but if you don't necessarily, Pope's not got a bad game week 25, so you could just drop Meslier down to a kind of dud defender. And also you could drop White down to potentially someone like Mitchell if you're just looking for like a filler player in there, and that would save you kind of 0.5. So there are plenty of ways of kind of decreasing the value of this team to hit what your value is. Now, there's a couple of things I want to discuss here. First, we're going to take a look at Bamford. So Bamford, he's got an okay fixture in Game Week 24 against Arsenal, where he easily, could go and score. Then, obviously, you're looking to target the Game Week 25, the double game week. But after that, until about Game Week 29, the blank game week, you're probably not really going to play him with the rest of the team. So I think that a potential transfer that you could kind of bank is a potential move from Bamford to Ollie Watkins. Now, Bamford is worth 6.7 million. Potentially would even go up to 6.8 the next game week. I think it is very, very likely to, because they've got such a good double. Plenty of people will be captaining him for game week 25. So I think you could have banked in there a transfer for Bamford to Ollie Watkins, as Ollie Watkins is likely to have very, very good fixtures. Also, for double game week 24, you've got Son and Kane against, or you've got the double up on Spurs against the triple up of Manchester City. Now, mainly it will be Son and Kane against Diaz and Cancelo, and you don't really want that kind of massive conflict in your team where you have very expensive defenders versus very expensive attackers. So I think the way to potentially solve this by using one transfer, what you could do is you could bring in Rashford for this game week, for game week 24. Now, Man United play West Brom, so that's a really good way of kind of targeting good fixture. They play West Brom and they play Newcastle. So what you could do is you can bring in Rashford instead of that kind of Son spot. Have Rashford for West Brom and Newcastle, and then for the double game week 26, transfer in Son. This will kind of create a lot less conflict within the team. I still think that having Kane now is absolutely fine, as the Man City boys have a double game week fixture. So even if Kane scores against Man City, then it will probably help you out, actually, because of the amount of people that own Man City assets and the amount of people that have gotten kind of rid of Kane. And then the Man City assets also have that fixture against Everton. Everton now, without DCL, they're very likely to keep a clean sheet. So I do not mind that kind of, having Kane but swapping Son out for Rashford for the kind of game week 24 and 25. So I hope people have enjoyed this kind of quick little look and updated wildcard. Some injuries have happened, some new fixtures have been updated, so there's been quite a lot of changes to a potential wildcard this week. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down in the comments below. If you're new around here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and of course hit that like button if you have enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.